Transparency is really changing the way that we work. It's changing the way that we learn. It's changing the way that we manage people. It is a radical departure from where we've been. And you know what? Not everyone is ready for that. Not every company is ready for that. Not every institution is ready for that. And certainly not every CEO is ready for that. And I think that you're going to see a massive amount of change over the next several years and certainly over the next decade. So wanted to, first, if you've never heard of Salesforce, we're a little startup in Silicon Valley. At least we were when I joined 8.5 years ago. We had about 300 or 400 employees, and we just had this really simple vision, which was, why can't enterprise software be like Amazon.com? What's really interesting is actually the gray bar. The gray bar here is how much traffic is going to websites. The web growth is really not there, right? And I remember, gosh, 10, 15 years ago, it was all about a website. Gosh, we got to have a company website. Let's get people to the website. Let's measure the website. It's not about that anymore. And in the enterprise, it's not about the applications to that extent. The entire consumer web is being re-architected around people. And we see this now happening in the enterprise. We see businesses saying, you know what, we need to re-architect around our people. That is our most important asset. You know, if you're a CEO, you look at your people and you say, this is the talent. I need to attract it. I need to retain it. I need to empower it. The talent is my brand, both internally and externally. And you know, people are really thinking now about how do I re-architect my entire company more around the people. What if teams, ideas, and content could move at startup speed? That's kind of the question that I'm always asking, which is, you know what, people want to interact with people, and they want to move very quickly. And oftentimes we make that very hard for whatever reason. So, you know, we thought a lot about values and, you know, how to have an acronym, very clever marketing, but, you know, how to have an acronym that represented a lot of the cultural dimensions of what we thought was happening. And, you know, clearly speed, I really believe that, has been kind of the heart and soul of what we've been trying to enable. We recognize that people have dreams. Oftentimes, technology, software, hierarchies are soul-crushing in the way that they stand in the way of your dreams and what you're actually trying to do. And my goal is just, how do I remove those obstacles so you can go fast? Open and transparent, you know, this is a very important value when you think about most companies and most institutions. They are not open and transparent. You know, there are companies, frankly, I work with every day who shall remain nameless, and they're very secretive companies. They say they want to collaborate, they say they want to be open, but they're not. And some of that is their core DNA. It is how they build products. Apple is a very secretive organization. They want to collaborate, but only in an appropriate way. It's like, I want to have fun, but appropriate amount of fun. You know, they want to move very quickly and collaborate, but they're also very secretive. So you see these cultures very much at odds. I see that with game makers as well. Companies you'd think, wow, these guys are on the cutting edge, man. They're making amazing video games. The studios are totally siloed off because they don't want anyone else to steal kind of their cool idea or the way that they're building something. If you can't be open and transparent, it's not going to work. Obviously, it's about collaboration and getting people to work together, hopefully to a productive, you know, and effective end goal. Collaboration is such a small part of what we're trying to do. We're trying to help people, you know, individuals and CEOs alike, transform their company and transform their brand. You know, how do you do that? And these are kind of three pillars that I've spent a lot of time thinking about. And I'll just tell you a little bit about what each one means. You know, the first one is social intelligence. I think a lot about how do we make everyone smarter? Just even marginally smarter. Smarter about the problem you're trying to solve, smarter about the thing you're trying to find, smarter about the thing you should be working on. How do you raise the IQ of everyone? And we spent a lot of time thinking about recommendations. You know, one of the fascinating things was we turned on Chatter, and we now have millions of users, 150,000 active networks, some really fascinating things happening. And when we started, recommendations constituted about 20% of all of the connections in kind of the follow graph, if you will. And now they constitute about 34%. So we're doing a better job of algorithmically solving for how to connect people and how to connect people also to things and to files. Traditionally, in a company, in an institution, pretty much anywhere in the world, 30% of your data is structured. It fits in a database, you know, basically a big Excel table in the sky, and it's very organized. But the other 70% is actually in your Microsoft email or in your Gmail now, hopefully. Or maybe it's the files that